For this year's Labour Day, we're showing our appreciation for all the hard workers out there. We've got a record-breaking window cleaner, the men catching snakes that couldn't be meaner, the lady who works 6 jobs for her career, and the man who cuts hedges with no fear. Please enjoy these great big stories.
Welcome to Powys Castle and Gardens. Once home to a Welsh prince, now home to the biggest hedges in the UK. They're around 400 years old, and it's this guy's job to cut them.
My name's Dan Bull and I'm a gardener here at Powys Castle and Gardens. The large hedges were planted in the 18th century. The fashion changed in the Victorian era, and that's the unique shape we have today. We have 14 large stumps on the terraces and a big hedge that's approximately 8,000 square metres of hedging. The box hedges and the formal hedging is about 7,000 square metres. So in total we have 15,000 square metres of hedges to cut, and one being 55 feet tall.
For anyone who doesn't like heights, might be best you look away now.
One of the highlights for me is when we get the cherry pickers in and spending the time floating around the sky, looking at the wildlife and cutting the hedges. Fortunately, I quite like heights, so it's lovely being up there.
Back in the day, it took 10 men 4 months to trim all the hedges, tying ladders together and using hand shears. Nowadays, Dan is able to complete the mammoth task in just 8 weeks.
With mechanisation, we've been able to use electric and petrol hedge cutters, long reach hedge cutters. It's a lot better than trying to do it with a scythe.
Along with the hedges, Dan is among the 7 gardeners who work throughout the year, come rain or shine, to manage the ever-evolving grounds.
I do a bit of everything, rather than being just stuck in one part of the garden. I've been here for 12 years, so I love coming to work. I'm quite lucky in my role. I get here early most mornings and take my dog round the garden, so it's lovely. I'll be here at 7 o'clock in the morning, the mist's rising, and you're just looking over at the castle and the garden, and feel quite privileged to be working here.
If one job wasn't enough, meet the lady with 6.
Life on the island isn't easy. I mean, it's not a place where you come to get rich, but it's a better lifestyle. So it's a happier lifestyle. With so few people on the island, everybody has to have multiple jobs to keep the island afloat with everybody else.
Welcome to North Ronaldsay, a small remote island off the northern reaches of Scotland. Home to around 50 people, 2 lighthouses, an airport, some sheep, cattle, and a few seals, and that's about it. Not much of a labour force. So while on the mainland you might have 1, maybe 2 jobs, up here it's more like 6 or 7. Meet Sarah Moore.
Well, my name's Sarah Moore. I've got quite a few jobs on the island. I'm a home carer, a clerk to the community council. I work at the airfield, baggage handler and firefighter. I've got a flock of sheep, and I'm the postie on the island. Really the job is being an islander, which is just mucking in and helping with various bits and pieces. I mean, no 2 days ever the same. I could be helping with cattle one day and fixing a roof the other day, and it's whatever the islanders need help with, you just muck in. Logan 727, North Ronaldsay Obs. Your wind is 184 degrees. Safety is our #1 priority on North Ronaldsay. But thankfully we've never had an emergency, so hopefully keep it that way. I moved to the island about 3.5 years ago from Edinburgh. I wasn't enjoying life there. I mean, there's just so many people, and you didn't ken anybody, you're completely anonymous. It's quite a lonely place. Up here, my confidence has gained massively because people, they come along, they teach you the skills that you need. I certainly never had sheep in Edinburgh. Hello, son, hello. Most people didn't quite understand that when I say I've got like 6 jobs, it's not 6 full-time jobs. I mean, it's not as if I'm working, 24 hours a day. There's far more job satisfaction at the end of the day. You can say you've actually accomplished something as opposed to just, done the same old thing day in, day out.
How many houses do you have to deliver to?
I think it's something like 25 houses on the island that I deliver to.
How long does it take you?
A few hours. It depends on the amount of posts we get. This island's really magical. I mean, it's completely unique in its own way. You're never going to find a place like this where you can just come up and live the way you're supposed to live. We're ruled by the weather as opposed to the clock, and I have no plans to go anywhere. I'm setting up roots, and I'm going to be here till I die.
Up next, the world's fastest window cleaner.
Can take one Guinness World Record, which is obviously a massive achievement, but to take another 9, that says something, you're not going away. And guess what? I'm not going away. I'm Terry Turbo Burrows, the fastest window cleaner in the world. When I found out there was a world record, I knew I wanted to break it. I had to work out the maths, the movements, the training it's going to need. And I thought, yeah, I can do that. Bring it on. When I first started out, my Uncle Elfie taught me how to use the squeegee and applicator, and they would start wetting up with the right hand with the applicator and then switch it over and squeegeeing it off. And I thought, why not just wet it up and do that?
Terry had a talent, and he wondered where it might take him.
Every day I get up about 7:30. I come down and make myself some coffees, probably about 3 or 4. I'll do a bit of gaming, and then my regime starts. Welcome to the training camp. I got myself a window and fixed it on the back of the garden shed, and I was practicing away. And what was hilarious about all this was our neighbour mowing the lawn and be looking at me thinking, why is he cleaning that window over and over again, but the window don't go through anywhere, doesn't see anything? What is he doing?
Terry entered his first competition aged 40.
I remember my first major competition was in France. It was huge. It was like an arena for the window cleaning competition. I was absolutely bowled over. And then all of a sudden, this person comes up to me. They're carrying the Union Jack for me. I thought, oh my God, this is like the Olympics. This is amazing. In those 8 to 9 seconds, you've got to be as fast as you can. You've got 5 moves per window and wipe the seal clean. And you've got to keep all that together just in those few seconds. It's nuts.
Terry took home the trophy, and the next one, and the next one. Well, actually, he won the next 15 competitions he entered, and he's not giving up anytime soon.
What you do is you start from the top here, go down like this, and all the time your legs moved over into position, and that is basically it. Don't look at that bit, you mustn't look at that bit. It's my life passion. You've got to be tunnel visioned, which I have been, and not swayed one iota. I plan to go out the world as the fastest window cleaner on the planet. So if any aliens are up there, that'll be cool. You come down and take me on. Let me dip you in me bucket and give you a squeeze. Would you let me climb your ladder? Ooh, you're such a tease. Let me swing you in me cradle, begging you please.
Finally, meet the firemen that are also snake catchers.
อย่างปีที่แล้วที่เราจับได้ 37,900 40 กว่าตัวนะครับเป็นรายเดือนก็ 2,000 กว่าครับ จ่าสิบตำรวจพินโยพุกพินโยเจ้าพนักงานป้องกันและบรรเทาสาธารณภัยชำนาญการสถานีดับเพลิงบางเขน
When Pinyu started as a firefighter back in 1989, the majority of his job was focused on fire rescue. However, in recent years his job has expanded.
งานบริการช่วยเหลือก็ส่วนใหญ่จะเป็นงานช่วยเหลือสัตว์เช่นการจับงูครับ
In recent years, new houses in Bangkok have been built in areas where snakes were more common, which means snakes are slithering their way into houses on a more regular basis.
โอเคแต่ถ้าเป็นฤดูร้อนก็จะเป็นอยู่ในช่วง7 ถึง 10 ครั้งครับได้ไม่เป็นไรค่ะอยู่ประมาณไหนนะครับถ้าเป็นช่วงฤดูฝนเนี่ยอาจจะรับแจ้งอยู่ในช่วงถึง10 ถึง 15 ครั้ง งูที่จับบ่อยๆในเอาถ้าเอาพื้นที่กรุงเทพมหานครเนี่ยส่วนใหญ่หลักๆจะเป็นงูเหลือมครับก็คือการที่เราจับงูเนี่ยเราไม่ฆ่าเนี่ยก็คือการฆ่าเนี่ยมันเป็นความคิดแบบเก่าๆส่วนงูที่มีประโยชน์ทางสิ่งแวดล้อมเช่นงูที่ไม่มีพิษไม่อันตรายกับคนเนี่ยเราก็จะไปหาพื้นที่ที่ไกลๆชุมชนแล้วปล่อยเขาเพื่อที่จะให้เขาดูแลสมดุลทางธรรมชาติครับอันตรายที่ได้รับจากการจับงูคืออันดับแรกเนี่ยสิ่งเราต้องรู้ก่อนว่าเราต้องเรียนรู้ว่างูชนิดนั้นๆเป็นงูที่มีพิษหรือเปล่ามีพิษไม่มีพิษนะครับตัวนี้เป็นสิ่งสำคัญการเรียนรู้ในพฤติกรรมของงูก็เป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญไม่แพ้กันก็คือว่าตัวนี้จะช่วยในทำให้เรามีความรู้มีทักษะความชำนาญในการจับงูได้ง่ายขึ้นบางครั้งโดยไม่ต้องไปพึ่งอุปกรณ์ในการจับเคยโดนงูกัดเคยโดนครับโดนอยู่หลายครั้งครับก็ตอนที่อยู่โรงพยาบาลตอนที่ถูกงูกัดแล้วอยู่โรงพยาบาลเนี่ยผมอยู่ประมาณสัก2 เดือนครึ่งเขากลัวผมจะเปลี่ยนใจว่าคือกลับหันหลังแล้วก็ไม่กลับมาจับงูอีกแล้วก็คือกลัวไปเลยนะครับแต่มันตรงกันข้ามนะครับแล้วก็คิดถึงงูค่อนข้างจะเยอะมากบางครั้งจนแบบเราติดตลกว่าน้องที่มาเยี่ยมบอกว่าเฮ้ยบางทีแบบบอกไปที่ทำงานด้วยนะถ้ามีเคสเกี่ยวกับใกล้ๆโรงพยาบาลหรือรอบโรงพยาบาลเนี่ยถ้ามีเคสเกี่ยวกับงูเนี่ยให้แจ้งด้วยไม่ต้องมาเดี๋ยวไปจับเองความแตกต่างระหว่างดับเพลิงกับจับงูงานดับเพลิงเป็นงานที่มีความสูญเสียทุกอย่างมีแต่คราบน้ำตาความเศร้าสูญเสียทุกอย่างซึ่งแตกต่างจากงานจับงูเนี่ยงานจับงูมันเป็นงานที่ให้แต่ความสุขมีแต่แรงขอบคุณคำขอบคุณ